Hi, welcome back to the shed for episode 10 of the Jurgs cut build, and in this episode we're going to move back onto the body, make a load more templates and hopefully get some routing done. Okay, so we've got the template sorted out for the neck pocket. Now one of my viewers, and I'll put the name down here because I can't remember it at the moment, actually spotted a few videos ago that this section of the body where the neck fits looked a bit too wide. And it was actually a really good spot. They must have some good eyes on them because it's only about 2 or 3 mil too wide, but they spotted that just from the video. So I am going to have to do a little bit of remedial work there just to trim that down, but we can come back to that. I am going to need, however, a few more templates to finish this off. Firstly, we need to get this bridge fitting, and I don't know how aware people are of this style of tremolo. I always want to put it on backwards for some reason, but there is quite a lot going on underneath, and we're going to have to route out for all of this. But you might be able to see it's actually fairly close to where the screws need to be, so it does need to be quite close fitting. But if you look at this, it's just a rectangle, and I think I need to route out that shape deep enough to clear this element here where the tremolo arm fits in. And I think what I can also do is I will just drill a hole deep enough to accommodate this spring and the adjuster. I don't think the entire route needs to be that deep. Now that's measuring at 34.5-ish mil, and I know the body's 39 mil, so that is going to be relatively close to the bottom of the body once we drilled it, but there should be plenty of meat there. Again, I'll put it in the right way, shall I? Can't see that being a problem. We just need to figure out the shape we need. Next up is we need to route in for a couple of pickups. I haven't got a P90 template, but it's going to be very easy to make. All I need to do is glue 4 strips of MDF together to form the perimeter of that pickup cover, and we've got our template. Very straightforward, shouldn't take that long to do. And the last element that needs a route, or in this case it's going to be a drill hole, is for the switch, which I'm going to put somewhere here, which potentially could be an issue in terms of playing. It might get in the way a little bit, and it also will need to fit within the confines of the pick guard wherever that goes. So we need to lay all of that out properly, and I think what I'll do is I will wait until I've got the neck fitting, the tremolo fitting, the pickups in position, and then from there I can work out kind of where I'm going to be playing to where I can put that switch. Basically all I'm going to do is I will position it, mark a hole in the pick guard template, use that to mark the center of where my drill needs to be, and then drill with a Forstner bit, something that's kind of big enough to allow for the switch to go in and a little bit of room around it to allow for the wiring. And then lastly, we need to position this properly and route out for the controls, but that's going to be fairly straightforward. It will just be a sort of a rectangular route that will fit within the confines of there, that we'll be able to fit our pots and the output into. So that's fairly straightforward. And then once all those routes are in, we need to figure out a way of running wires through, etc. Seeing as most of this is going to be covered by a scratch plate, I might just route channels into the top to do that, just to make things easy, because on this build, quick and easy are good things. Okay, so I think first up, we'll start with the template for the tremolo. And like I say, this is going to be fairly straightforward. I think if I go 75 mil wide, should leave me plenty of scope and wriggle room. And I'm going to say 68 mil. and that needs to be 22 millimeters deep. And as we say, this is kind of 33, 35 mil, but I will put that in after I've done the routing. Okay, so I've got the first one marked out and I'm just going to get that to the bandsaw and trim this out. Now I kind of double guessed myself on this a little bit because I was looking at some pictures and they all had an additional little bit of routing on the bridge side of this cutout, and I couldn't get my head around what it was. And then I realised that some of these tailpieces have actually got a locking button on them that allows you to lock the tremolo system. This one obviously hasn't got it, so I don't need that additional little bit of a route. Took me a little bit of time to get my head around that, but I understand what's going on now. So, like I say, I'll get this to the bandsaw. I'll just trim out this shape. It doesn't have to be absolutely 100% accurate. As long as I'm kind of close to those lines, it'll be absolutely fine. And then with that done, we can then move on to the pickup template. And for this pickup, I've simply cut 4 little bits of wood, and they've all got one very straight edge and a square end to it. And it's just a case really of kind of setting these up and gluing them all together into a shape that will fit that pickup cover. Just like that. Gives me a very nice snug fit there for that cover. Now I could use that on the actual body itself, and that would be a fairly easy thing to do. I just have to stick it down and move it twice. But instead what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer these onto the pick guard So I will kind of set this up for centre lines and just put these pickups in onto the pick guard, and then I can do both routes in one go. Okay, so there are where the pickups are going to go marked up. Obviously these pickups are a bit chunkier than the standard pickup, so it's bringing it a little bit close to the edge here of the pick guard. So I think what I'm going to do is I'll just get the rubber on this, I'll rub those lines out, I'm going to move it back probably about 10 mil just to get it away from the edge there, just to keep that kind of a little bit stronger. Won't really make much difference to the sound of the guitar, I don't think. I'll remark that. We will just drill these out with a Forstner bit and then route using our new template to make our master template that we can actually use when it comes time to do the body. Okay, so there's the first of what will no doubt be many, many mock-ups. I think it's all looking good. I'm liking the way that the pick guard fits, where the pickups are, etc. I obviously need to do some work to adapt this pick guard to the style of control plate that I've got, and that is going to be quite tricky, but I think I can do it and keep it looking reasonable. But the next thing I need to work out is whereabouts I'm going to put this switch. And looking at it, I think anywhere in this position would be good. So I'm just going to kind of eyeball about there, I think. I think that's good in terms of visibility, but it's also kind of out of the way of any playing area. I don't think this is something that's going to be strummed a lot, so it's not like it's going to be in the way, but we'll keep it as far away as we possibly can. So next we need to mark that. I'll just put a little bit of an oil mark in. We'll get that drilled out for a transfer punch and we can then mark the body. But I think the first thing I'm going to do is to actually get the neck pocket routed out. So I need to do some measurement in terms of bridge height and everything just to make sure I can get that worked out. and I'm going to mark that roughly where it's going, and then hopefully you'll be able to see that there is a little bit of material that we need to remove from there. But I'm going to get the neck pocket put in place first, then we can sort that out afterwards, and then it will just be a case of kind of tidying up this round over as it goes into there. I've done a bit of measuring up and a bit of working out, and the neck meets the body at just after the 16th fret on all the pictures I've seen. So I've set that up, and this line kind of indicates where I need to set my template up, and of course align that with the center lines. And I've measured the bridge and everything else, and I think I need to make this neck pocket about 16 millimeters deep, which is pretty much 5/8, which is the standard for this kind of thing. So as always, bit of super glue and masking tape, set this template up where we need it, draw my line in, get it to the drill press, hog out some of the material, and then it's just a case of getting the little router on it, set it up to the appropriate depth, and clear all the waste out. Okay, and there is the neck fitted into the pocket. I am very, very happy with that. Obviously, there's this little bit of material here that needs clearing away. Probably wants to come back somewhere to there. So I will deal with that. Probably just do it on the spindle sander just to sand that a little bit of material away. As well as that, we've got the routes for the pickups, the tremolo, and the switch to look at. But this episode's getting quite long now, so I'm going to leave this one here. I'll be back very soon when we can start getting that sorted out. Until then, don't forget to hit like if you've enjoyed this, subscribe if you haven't already done so, and I'll look forward to seeing you soon. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.